Welcome everyone. Today you have a new character comparison guide for the 1.2 characters with Caesar King and also Burnice. We'll be looking through the stats of those characters compared to the previous limited banner characters, and I have made some comparisons over here as you can see. We'll also be looking into the different team counts for Caesar and also my thought process and also choices behind picking for Caesar or skipping for Burnice. We'll also be looking into the disk drives and also weapons for Caesar and the potential of summoning for those items and also how powerful they can be with update for 1.2. Now, similar to all of the limited banner characters for ZZZ, we'll be looking at Caesar King today. And we'll be looking into the latest official data of the characters and also the reviews of the skills and everything related. Now, for those of you guys who want to have more detailed comparison of each of the limited banner characters, I'll have the Excel available for you guys to have a look at through all of those characters. And we also have a variety of different written notes for each of those characters, including the build, best choice of disk drives, and everything related to those characters. So as a defensive character, we can see Caesar having a much higher maximum HP with over 9,500. Now the second thing we can notice is that she definitely have higher defense compared to other characters which doesn't go over 700. Now the final stat we want to focus on for Caesar is going to be her impact rate. This is going to scale with how much of the shield she can gain as we have a look at the spells. So why don't we come over here and have a look at Caesar's spells and what makes her special and also unique. I think it's actually easier if I just come over here. So in case you guys are not aware, Caesar will provide a shield equal to 1400% of her base impact, plus 1400 flat shield for allies. This will also increase the attack by 1000, and together she can amplify the team's damage by another 25%. So this is when having higher base impact will become handy for Caesar. Now, one thing with the base impact, if we compare hers and also with Qingyi's, you can see that Caesar's base impact is a little lower because Qingyi is a stunning character, while Caesar is a defensive character that gains more defensive stats. So we should be aware of this as we build the character. Now, as for Caesar, we can see her role is going to be defender compared to Burnice over here, who is going to be an anomaly character. In terms of the character overall rating, I'm actually giving Caesar a really high ranking, and I'll explain as we go through the video. It's simply because she can provide a massive shield with close to 4000 damage reduction shield, plus 1000 flat attack damage, and also plus damage multiplier and also buffer. In comparison with other characters that just focus on one particular aspect of the game, Caesar seems to be providing a lot more features in terms of a supporting character that doesn't have to be on the field for too long. And this is one of the biggest highlights in combination with the latest disc set. So if we come over to the disc drives for Caesar, you can see this is perfectly made for her with increased shield percentage and also increased damage dealt by the team by another 15% while using this new defensive set for the characters on the field. Now in terms of the power creep concern and also replacement of the character, for Caesar for me, she does have a much lower chance of getting replaced because she's not really a stunner, supporter or defender by herself. She's trying to do multiple things. Because she will be focusing on having impact for her shield scaling, she also provides shield and also additional attack bonus for the whole team, as you can see on the skills and also talents over here. She can have multiple roles, and she can amplify the damage for any of the characters that will be on her team. So for me, the replacement and also frequency of her being replaced by another character is much lower compared to other characters. And you can see most of the characters I have low to medium, but for Caesar I have it as low, and the lower it is, the less likely she will be replaced. Now in terms of the personal appeal with the character design and also visuals, I think she has a great design. And this is to be expected with the characters. Most of the popular characters are going to be female characters with a very unique and also sexy design. Now in terms of damage dealing, Caesar King actually deals some sizable damage. From what I can see with content creators and also early access, she can be built towards having high damage on herself. So if you do not have a great team, which we'll talk about on the second part, you can still deal some hefty damage with her with physical damage, because she amplifies her own damage as well. Now in terms of working with future units and also current units, we just need one particular character on the team to be a melee character, which will enable Caesar's defensive passive. And this means having a character of the same faction or a melee character that can do defensive assist will enable Caesar's passive to deal additional 25% damage for the whole team. And this is the only drawback for Caesar is that her entire team needs to have another melee character. Now at this point, I'm sure you guys can see my biasness and also decisions towards Caesar. I do think she is going to be a well-rounded character with a lot of buffs and also very easy to go with team setups. And because she can be a best in slot supporting and also defensive stunning character for most of the team, she can work any of the current and also future units. So this is when we can come over to the character builds and also different team comps. We have talked about this previously and I'll briefly go through this. Caesar can work on the Zhu Yuan and also Qing Yi team to provide more bonus damage for any of those characters. Of course, Caesar can work on the Ellen team with Sokaku as the melee character that enables her passive. And she can definitely work with the Jen team because that is going to be the best in slot team designed for her. Once we have Burnice, we can go with Jen, Caesar, and also Burnice. Now Caesar can also work well with a number of different characters that are going to be DPS characters coming from the standard banner, including Necromancer, including Soldier 11, and any of the free-to-play 4-star A-rank characters. Now in comparison for Burnice over here, I have also written some notes, but we do not have the exact details of her exact stats at this moment. So in terms of everything that's revealed officially on the livestream, we can see that Burnice is going to be an anomaly character that excels in dealing fire and also burning damage, and she can be off the field. One of the positives of having Burnice is that she can go with the new set, and this enables her to deal even more damage. And Burnice of course can go with Jing and also can go with Caesar, and this will be a very powerful team comps should you want to summon for her as well. Now the advantage of having Burnice on the team is that she can be an off-field damage dealer, which enables you to have a stunner or enable you to have another damage dealer that can stay on the field like having Jing on the field. So this also takes me to the thought process of should I summon for Caesar or summon for Burnice. So over here we have a short summary. Some of the reasons I would summon for Caesar is that I have Ellen and also I have Zhu Yuan, but I do not have the respective stunners for those characters. So for Ellen, she's best to go with Lycan, and also for Zhu Yuan, she's best to go with Qing Yi. So if I do not have Lycan or Qing Yi, but I have those two other characters, I can go for Caesar. Now of course, having Jing on the team going for Caesar is actually really profitable and makes her very powerful. Other than that, if I don't have any of the limited banner characters, or if I'm currently using standard banner characters, I can still use Caesar for a universal character. This is because she will work relatively well with future characters and enable the team to survive for longer for the update of the Xingyu defense and also harder content. Now again, I can be a little biased over here because I do think Caesar is gonna be one of the best summons, because I do think Caesar is gonna be an essential unit for a long time of the game. So what are the reasons you might want to be skipping for Caesar? Well, the first option for me is that if I run out of free-to-play polychromes and I don't want to spend too much money into the game, then maybe it's okay to skip for her and wait for the rerun. Yes, there will be rerun for characters, and usually this will take 3 to 6 months. So as you can see with the other banner characters, I usually write 3 to 6 months for those characters, and this way we know when to wait for the characters to come. Now the other option to skip a Caesar is that you already have two relatively good teams and you do not feel the need having Caesar as a replacement. So if you already have Lycan, if you already have Qing Yi, and you want to save a future character like Burnice or 1.3 characters, this is another option of course. And finally, if you're saving for Burnice, it is the best to have Jing and also Burnice on the same team. And this will enable us to have some of the highest damage dealing teams having both of those anomaly characters that works wonderfully well. And even if you don't have Caesar with Burnice and Jing, you can still use Seth for this particular team. So let me know in the comments below guys, what do you think about Caesar? And in comparison to other characters, I think she fits a lot of different roles. So you can see Ellen, Zhu Yuan fits into the damage dealer role, Qingyi and also Lycan fits into the stunner role. And of course, Jandor fits on the role of an enemy characters that stays on the field. So the off-field character Burnice is definitely interesting, but for me personally, I'll be summoning all of my polychromes for Caesar. And of course, if I do have any of the spare polychromes, I might even consider to go with Caesar's limited banner weapon. This weapon will enable her to do extraordinary things. This weapon provides a shield increase and also a damage increase for the whole team and additional days increase to help you stun enemies. But that will be another story, because I barely have enough for a free-to-play soft pity, and I don't think I have enough for the weapons. So let us know in the comments below, guys, if you're summoning for Caesar, are you summoning for her weapon, and also are you summoning for Burnice for the characters to come in 1.2. Now, similar to all of the videos, if you want to follow the notes, those will be available in the links below. And if you find my videos helpful and you want to see more future videos for ZZZ and also other games to come, make sure you subscribe to the channel and keep the notification on for the latest content.